So you want to play Nertz. That's great. Nertz is a great game. It's basically like 2 or more person solitaire, which obviously makes it not solitaire, but that's the general premise. While I have the specialty box, all you really need are a couple decks of cards. Just the decks of cards have to look different from each other, on the backs at least. They have to be distinguishable in some way or another, so they have to look different. Nertz is really easy. What you're going to do is give each person a distinguishable deck of cards. It can be 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. More than 4 people would probably go a little crazy, but you can try it if you want. Everybody shuffles up their cards and then makes a stack of 13 cards. This stack of cards can then go face up off to the left-hand side. And then you deal out 5 cards across face up. Good. Okay, so this set of 13 cards that you put up here, this is called your Nertz pile. This is the pile that you're trying to get rid of. And this is your draw pile, all those cards that are left over. And just like in solitaire, you go through these 3 at a time. And you can, once you get through the deck, you can pick them up and start over again, continuing to go through 3 at a time. So from this set of 5, what you're doing is you're building down in order to try to get rid of these Nertz cards. Now you can pull cards directly from the top of this pile, whichever one is facing up, or you can play from the top card in your 3 draw pile. But just like in regular solitaire, you also build up by placing aces. Now what makes this game different is that you can play off of your opponent's cards. So for instance, in my set of 5, I have a 1, a yellow 1, so my first move is going to be to play this yellow 1. And I would say yellow 1. Now my opponent over here I see has a yellow 2 sitting on the top of his Nertz pile. Now that would be the next move. And I also have a yellow 2. So this is a great example. This is what you're doing in this game. You're trying to compete to get the most cards up here and to go out of your Nertz pile at the same time. So we would be competing to try to get this up here. So let's say that he beat me up to the top. That is disappointing, but eventually, hopefully, he'll come up with a yellow 2, with a yellow 1 to also play up here for me to get rid of this. And again, I have an empty spot, so just like in solitaire, I would play the top card from my Nertz pile in that spot to get rid of it. Now what's going to happen is we're going to continue in this manner, flipping through these cards 3 at a time, just like that. We can build down, alternating colors. Again, when you have a specialty, one of these specialty decks, there's 4 colors, so you have a little bit more options on how you play down, just because there's 4 colors to alternate instead of standard decks which only have 2, but either way works just fine. And that's how it works. Okay, so how does the game end? So you keep playing like this, competing to get cards up here. This will be totally a mess with just stacks of colors and various cards. Well, the way it ends is once all of these cards are up here from one of your opponents, when you play that last card out in the center, you yell Nertz, and then everyone stops. Okay, for your opponent then, every card that is left in their Nertz pile is worth -2 points. And then you take all the cards out of that have been played up at the middle, sort them out by the backs of those cards. Remember how they have to be differentiated? Cool. So you sort those all out, and every one of those cards is worth 1 point. You can play to however many points you want. This is a great game. Again, it's cheap, it's easy, it's fast-paced.